greatest. And actually he got exposed in that game. Uguti defensively he's not as great as you would want him to be. Experience virtual reality at KV Sports, link on the description below. Welcome back to Kosi Nation Fan TV. Please like this video so that YouTube can spread it to more Kosi fans like you. Kaizer Chiefs versus Cape Town City. And before we talk about this game, let's look at what went wrong in the previous game. And the first thing that people would want to talk about is Njabulo Ngcobo's mistake. But even before that thing happened, there was a change that happened that we thought was a good and positive change, but it actually tore us apart. Now, the first half, we were playing better in midfield because Utol was there pulling the strings and all that stuff. And then when it came to them trying to play through us in the midfield, Uplom was there to destroy and Ukol was there to destroy. And as a result, they tried to target Isaitil Kampahlele. But then the moment Mpahlele was substituted, Uplom was then taken to play at right back. And then that destroyer element that Uplom comes with in that midfield was taken away. And as such, now Arrows was no longer trying to attack us on the right hand side, but they were just going through us in all ways possible. And I've never seen Obakas being so lost in a game. I didn't see him. Like when I finally saw him, maybe having a touch, I was like, oh, Bakas is playing. Because I said it in the previous video, if you watch, that Ubakas, when it comes to his defensive abilities, he's not the greatest. And he got exposed in that game. Uguti defensively he's not as great as you would want him. And now pair that up with the fact that Udoli is also better offensively than defensively. Now you have Ukol being the only player who's defensive in the midfield, and then you have Udoli and Ubakas as well. And now we midfield here Tunji Arrows started just going through us, and the passes that were coming now, they were coming from midfield out wide, pressing. They were just pushing us because they knew Uguti physically they were now better than us, and the momentum was with them. The moment Mpahlele was off and Uplom went to right back. The first goal that we conceded, Ngcobo, where he made a mistake, was a result of obviously but they were playing a ball backwards too much. But the reason why they were doing that is because there wasn't much support. If you watch Image Day vlog up here, you will see Uguti, we were shouting, Gutaibo, Frost, la support, and all that, and no one was supporting him. And as a result, his options were so limited to a point that he ended up having to pass the ball. He passed, that was tricky, and then they won the ball back. And the pass that actually had happened before he made that mistake, he had tried to pass Ukastro, and it tells you, good, if Ukastro was the one who had to drop so deep to come and collect the ball, it shows you good, in our midfield something was missing in terms of who was supposed to actually help progress the ball up the field. And that's where inkinga was ukuthi now we're struggling to build up and to progress the ball and to create chances. And as a result, Valley Arrows kept on winning the balls because we're not present. We were just done with Lapa in the midfield. And as a result, they were bossing us, we were committing fouls and all that thing. And that's how eventually the second goal came about. We committed a foul, but then Peterson should have done better. That's the truth, and I know he knows it. And I hope that, I don't know whether the pressure was also there, but I don't understand why you'd have so much pressure playing in front of your own fans who are actually behind you. Although I will say, people were singing in the first half, we scored, everyone was happy. But second half, Arrow started to dominate. And then the crowd went silent. I was there. I saw people started complaining. Hey, here's a funny thing actually. So people have been clearly around Bona. Some of them were complaining, oh, Mpahlele was this, Mpahlele was targeted. Mpahlele was this, Mpahlele that. He comes out, Blom plays that side, we start conceding goals. Now, oh, Mpahlele, why did they do this to Mpahlele Black? You see, you guys are quick sometimes to jump into conclusion and criticizing players. Let's not do that. Sometimes we just need to support the team, especially Master Stadium, because they start feeling the pressure that we're supposed to be putting on Arrows as the team that had most fans in the stadium ends up falling into our own players, and they end up making blunders. I'm not defending anyone. I'm just saying that sometimes because of the pressure, that our own fans inflict on our own players, and as a result players make mistakes like they did in the previous game. Now let's look at the predicted starting 11 for tomorrow. Now I think Peterson will still play. I think Mphahlele right back, Ngezana one of the center backs, and with regards to Ngobo, I think Ngobo will not start tomorrow's game. Here's the reason why. I think it's because Vele they will have to make a statement to the other players which you will not do this, and then we'll just let it slide, because it's gonna create this thing where everyone can just act however and then they will be forgiven. And I'm not saying Ngobo should be banished for 20 seasons, no. Maybe 1 or 2 games to just say what you did was wrong and this is your punishment, take it. And I know Uzwane also said Ngobo did apologize and he knows what he did was wrong. He knows it was wrong. It's just that football is an emotional game, and Vele guys, if you're having a bad game, your team is also having a bad game, and you contribute to that, what do you think is going to happen to you? He was more angry at himself than he was at being subbed off, and that is why we saw him behave like that. But then I think Ukadoso will start tomorrow's game, and then Frosla will left back. With midfield, it will be tricky to see who will play, because I think Vele they are sticking with Cole. And then Ublom, because he wasn't offering much offensively, but defensively he was offering a lot. Will they end up playing Ubakas from the start? I don't know, because playing against a Cape Town City, a ball-playing team that will have a position at times and for some extended periods, and you might need to be solid lapis swing. And Vele, you could see Ublom no Cole starting tomorrow's game. Uguti Kubakasige might not start because of the fact that, as I've said, Uguti defensively it's not his greatest strength, and as a result he might not start precisely because of that. And if Ublom edlala alongside Ukole, like bedlala pivot, double pivot, 4-2-3-1, then that's where you see Udoli playing as number 10 Pamgwab. And then after that, after a game idlalile umshini, I also don't know where the coach will play him or not. I would like to see him play, but if Umshini does play, I would like him to be the one odlala as number 10 if uzdlala i-4-2-3-1, or number 8 if uzdlala i-4-3-3, and have Udoli play wing. But it might get tricky, and Uzuma, when he came on the second half, it didn't look so convincing because the arrows were just all over the second half. It's like angazi wathini kubu coach, angazi mabhuti wathi, you know what, this game is there for you, go take it. And Utinkla, if they end up showing up for tomorrow's game, could say the same thing, listen, this game is here for the taking, let's go and get it. And the confidence team is not the highest, it's not the greatest, and they might want to capitalize on that. And with some fans being frustrated, that pressure has built up and might affect the players negatively. Having said that though, I think Velu Billiat will still play wing, and it seems like the coaches are sticking with Castro, and I think Velu Castro will play. So Vele, the position that's left, will they play Ngobo as a winger, or will they bring in Uzuma or Sehota? I don't know. I guess we will see tomorrow what the team will do. But as I said, I would rather have Ngobo play as number 10 and Udoli play as a winger, because Maying up out wide, it then allows Labantu Abasesweni, they are the ones who have a more work rate and are better defensively than Udoli, because Udoli, what he offers us is more on the offensive part of play. And Lama Bola, when he's out wide, because they are playing Castro, then you have a person who will get an angle and drift into half spaces and then put in Amabola from wide for Castro. Because what we saw in the previous game, we did not see any balls flying in for Castro, and then it was like, so what's the point then of Castro playing as a target man if you're not going to utilize it? And I know Velu Castro did assist the goal for Billiat, and that was about it. But for the rest of the match, you did not see how was he being used, because for most of the times ibola lalingafiki kuye. So now that's the thing, if Udoli plays as a winger, then you have that chance Amabola can go forward. Who do you think Kaizer Chiefs will start tomorrow, and what is your score prediction? Let me know down on the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and go down to the comment section and say I subscribe. And of course, please like this video, and until next time, remember, ikhosi alipheli umoya.